some of those innings where the fly balls led to runs.
This is a frustrating one. I thought that we give up the leadoff homer, and then after that it was some infield hits that scored runs with 2 outs. Obviously, we lose a ball in the twilight, which leads to another run, which actually led to 2 runs. And I thought Gavin was pitching well enough to keep going, but in that spot, with Stott, I felt Ben had the best chance to strike him out to limit damage, and he put a ball in play and found a way to get an infield single, to play at another run. And so that's a frustrating one. So you got to give credit to those guys for putting the ball in play and taking advantage of opportunities. And we had some opportunities that we couldn't capitalize. So it's just, ultimately, we came short.
Gavin, after that first couple of innings, it kind of settled in a little bit. Just talk about overall what was good and how it kind of got himself after those first 2 and kind of got on track.
Yeah, I think Gavin was fine. He settled in nicely. I think that with him, he needs his defense, and that's just the way it is. He's not going to go out there and punch a bunch every single time out. And tonight he had, I think, 3 strikeouts, and there's a lot of balls in play, not a lot of swing and miss. So you look back at some of the plays that we just couldn't come up with those plays. That changes the game. And so, it seemed like today the ball had eyes, and that's baseball.
Did they just never see that fly ball?
He just didn't. It's the twilight, and sometimes when it gets up there in the sky, you just lose it. And so he's been doing a nice job out there in center field, and there's just really nothing you could have done right there and just turned into a triple.
As reliable as Miggy is, did you think he had a shot at turning around that play?
I thought he might have, but Trey obviously runs really well, and he got out of the box really well, ball out in front, and so it would have been a great play if he would have made it. And I didn't look at the high home, but it's hard to if Miggy can't make it, then I don't think many guys can make that play.
On his base running play, did they say that the initial tag ultimately got him? Or
No.
It was the pop-off?
It was the pop-off. So he beat the play, and then I was trying to lobby that, Stott coerced him off the bag, but, that's a judgment call, and they didn't see that.
Last homestand before you got hurt, Hayward was kind of talking about that in this stretch he feels like some guys might be trying a little bit too hard to kind of like overcompensate a slow start or something like that. Like, are you seeing some of that during the stretch, or do you think it's something kind of completely different?
I don't know. I think that, Austin swing the bat great. I thought CT's taking really good at bats. I thought Kike tonight took some good at bats. So I see the fight, but unfortunately when we needed that hit, there were some opportunities that we had guys in scoring position. We just didn't capitalize.
Did Outman score a bunt on his own?
Yeah, that was on his own, and so I don't know what led to that. Obviously, you're down 2, and he's a guy that I went to potentially tie the game up. And so, the first one, if he's back, which I didn't see, if he's back and giving you the hit, but I know after the first strike, the third baseman was in, and so I would have liked for him to swing the bat right there.
Young characteristics out of him. I mean, obviously going.
Yeah, he's been working on his bunting, but there's a time in a situation, to do that, because if we're going to get him over, then he could have swung the bat and got him over and maybe got a hit. So that's something that you just got to learn and keep playing the game.
Is that a good risk for Rojas to take, trying to stretch that one?
I think it was. I mean, again, he beat the throw, and so. Where we're at, I thought we had some momentum, and he went hard out of the box, and it's one of those things that I don't want to look back and because he was pulled off the bag, then it's a bad play. So it was a hustle play, and I thought it was just a good baseball play.
I know no single game or series, means a lot. There's 162, I get it. But when you're playing a team that's been to 2 straight CSs, do you view a series like this as a litmus test? As a measuring stick?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that there's a lot that changes in a particular series depending on the time of year. I'm sure our ball club is going to look a lot different, and it's how you're playing at that point in time. We know we stack up with those guys. They know that we stack up with them. Unfortunately, we haven't won 2 games, so I still think we had a pretty good ball club.
You guys have hit left-handed pitching pretty well this year compared to, previous years. What did you guys see out of, young flamethrower Christopher Sanchez today?
He was good. We hadn't seen him before. Understand why they lock him up. It's a real good arm. He mixed well. But again, I thought we had some chances to get them, and we just couldn't break through tonight.
And then the only other thing is just looking at like 2023. You guys did really well with 2 outs. You guys did really well with 2 outs, runners in scoring position. This year, it's kind of just a recurring theme. Each month where it's not really your guys' year for that stat this year. Is that just like an approach, mechanics? The pitcher that's on the mound. What do you guys see in like the whole staff?
I think it's a combo. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combo. Hopefully, we can kind of balance those numbers out from the first half. But the number one part of it is you got to create opportunities, and getting that 2 out is big. And obviously, you saw that now with those guys. I think they threw out 3 2-out hits tonight for runs. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.